It's the Thrift Store Rundown, and normally we bring Hollywood home on a budget. But on today, as we have for the past few years, we're gonna bring New York home on a budget in the most bittersweet way. Probably the most bittersweet way. Yes, it is indeed again September 11th. And another year has gone by, the 23rd year specifically, since we the people bore witness to terrorist attacks that screwed us over big time. But only for a little bit, not forever. Yes, not one day won't go by that we don't feel the stain of what happened with over 3,000 people murdered at the hands of thugs. But in remembrance of the victims and their families, in respect to the survivors and their families, and the emergency personnel and everyday people who ran into, at the time, what was the heart of hell on earth, to lend a helping hand to the recovery process, we ring the bells, we name the names, and we talk about what we saw. Or in this case, what the people of CBS News saw, the events of September 11th in words, pictures, and video, with an introduction by then anchor and managing editor of their flagship evening news, Stan Ratter, who hosts this nearly 2-hour-long DVD of CBS News coverage. This Simon & Schuster publication was picked up from Red, White, and Blue Thrift Store for $3.99 and was actually first spotted at Unique Thrift Store here in Patterson, much closer to home, for a very steep $12.99. Now, that's kind of highway robbery in terms of secondhand shopping, but when you consider that 10% of retail profits on the sales of this book would be donated to the Robin Hood Relief Fund, providing support to organizations helping low-income people impacted by the attacks and victims' families, I guess no price is too steep if you gotta make somebody feel just a little bit better about what happened and help them recover. This retailed for $29.95 in the US and $47.50 in Canada. What I want to do now is show you the trailer for the 10th anniversary updated edition of what we saw.
From Simon & Schuster and CBS News, September 11th, 2001.
It's 8:52 here in New York. I'm Bryant Gumbel. We understand that there has been a plane crash on the southern tip of Manhattan. You're looking at the World Trade Center.
10 years ago.
Oh my gosh, another plane has just hit. Yes, I just saw a plane go into the building.
The world came to a halt.
Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. We're looking at a live picture from Washington, and there is smoke pouring out of the Pentagon.
It collapsed. The top floors collapsed down. I saw it blow and then ran like hell.
That's what we were all running from. We heard the building coming down, and that's what we were running from.
Lives forever changed.
We ran as fast as we could, and then he threw me into the wall of a building and covered me. Forgive me. I could feel his heart banging against my back. We were both so sure we were going to die.
A country came together.
This is the center of the rescue effort. Behind me you can see what's left of one of the 110-story Twin Towers.
I don't know the numbers yet, but I certainly hope that means that a lot of people made it out.
And we'll never forget.
What do you think that this country needs to know about the men and women who were on board Flight 93?
They're all heroes in my eyes. They all pitched together, and they did what they thought was the best thing to do at that time.
This part of Manhattan looks like a battlefield. We have seen blood. We have seen body parts. We have watched people die in front of our eyes. This was terrorism, like we in America have never seen before.
Where we were, what we felt, what we heard, and especially what we saw. From Simon & Schuster and CBS News, the events of September 11th, 2001, in words, pictures, and video. Book which includes a special DVD on sale beginning August 2nd wherever books are sold.
As for what they saw, the book, featuring all black and white photos, contains interviews that were conducted exclusively for this book and transcripts of CBS News reports from the global resources of their organization. It begins in the same way the DVD begins. 8:52 a.m. on the early show, Russ Mitchell interviewing eyewitnesses through telephone about what they were seeing 5 minutes after the first terrorist attack on the Twin Towers. His transcript, along with transcripts of others from the CBS Evening News, 60 Minutes, They only show 48 hours. They're all condensed and edited for clarity, but featured in the book. Other individuals interviewed for the book are Steve Croft, Byron Pitts, Steve Hartman, Carol Marin, who was first out of running out from the attacks to join Dan Rather for his entry of the special coverage, the special report. Other correspondents from the print world of journalism are interviewed in here. Correspondents from the New York Times, the New Republic, Newsweek, the Washington Post, etc. The DVD itself is, again, nearly 2 hours long and contains reports from the shows I just mentioned. And this also features an essay from Bill Geist, former CBS News correspondent, who has a special connection to Ridgewood, New Jersey, a place that I hold dear to my heart. This was his hometown, and you can bet it too felt the sting of 9/11. We all did. Name one person who hasn't felt the sting of 9/11 and what happened on that day, September 11, 2001. That's gonna stay with us forever. But you know what? This book also talks about, in addition to what happened on that day and the horror of that day, but perhaps a week's worth of material here from September 11th onward, talking about the recovery efforts. New Yorkers helping each other out, under the guidance of then America's mayor, Rudy Giuliani, and Americans from all over lending their helping hands to the recovery process. The heroism that came out of everyday people just wanting to see how they could help out their neighbors. And in that moment, we actually felt more like a small town than a great big country. That's how close we were. And believe you me, you'll be reading up on plenty of that in this book as well.
As bad as 9/11 was, it demonstrated that when the times require, we do have the capacity to come together and take care of each other with limitless compassion.
So that's what they saw. And pretty much the same as what we saw through their eyes. And if you haven't seen what they saw, you can check out the full-length documentary in the description below. I'll give it 4.5 out of 5 claps. A few color photographs inside, but definitely make this book a little bit more brighter. But these are the color photographs that you see on the dust jackets. And I guess they'll count. In a way, you can pretty much call us the Bundys of the world. Remember that show Married with Children? Yeah. Right now, we can't stand each other, and we may even fight with each other, and we're doing that far too regularly. But if anyone threatens us, here or abroad, you best believe we'll go to war for each other. That's who we are, because this is America. Bring it on! Thank you for watching. I'll catch you on the flip side.